Hi there. Welcome back to Sending Ravens. I'm driving and chatting. Okay, I'm super excited right now because I shared an interview somebody shared with me from 1992, Bill Cooper. Okay, so I'm hilarious because most people that would call themselves truthers and or into the kind of thing I'm into would have come to it by reading Behold a Pale Horse and looking into Bill Cooper a long time. I just discovered him with the interview, and I've heard of the book, but I've never read it. So I'm absolutely going to read it because I did everything backwards. I let the cards bring me into this. So my intuition led me here, and then a lot of good people filled me in with the details. And my intuition is what brought me over here, and my gut feeling that things weren't good in the world and they were not what we thought, which of course, when I listened to Bill Cooper's describing what is socialism, what is a democracy, you should listen to that. That makes total, democracies are not what we want, okay? They're actually like, you give everything up to Big Daddy kind of thing. Okay, so yeah, it's a form of socialism is what he describes. And it's like, wow. Okay, it's like mind blowing. Okay, so what I figured out from what he was saying, so there's republics are sort of the middle ground of, you want a government, but you want rules in place so people don't get messed over, but at the same time, you don't want them to rule your life entirely, blah, blah, blah. But far right is absolutely the opposite of what we've been told it was. It's actually people that just don't like rules. They want as little government input as possible, and they believe that humans have to figure their own stuff out, and they should be able to figure out their own lives, et cetera, et cetera. So lots of freedom. So I've figured out that I'm a far right. And far left are literally people that don't want to think for themselves, want to give everything over and be completely taken care of at the expense of no freedom, no rights, and they'll give everything up to the government, and the government's humongous and is in complete control. So only a few are in control. That's the far left. And it's very bad, as he put it, for minorities, because if you're a minority that nobody likes, they could all vote to get rid of you. With the urging of the big government who decided they didn't like you in particular. Yeah, so you gotta watch the interview. It starts out with his experience with UFO encounter that changed his whole life, and how he was told, being in the Army and Navy at the time, how he was told basically that his life would be in jeopardy if he didn't shush up about it. Him and everybody who saw this very specific UFO sighting while they were on submarine duty. So you gotta listen to the interview, but a lot of you probably have listened to it. So bear with me, the fact that I'm just discovering these things, but it is so exciting to hear what he says about how things work. And I know he doesn't have it 100%, but what I'm going to do a deep dive on him on Tarot by Janine for tomorrow's video. So I'll do it tonight, and it'll be up tomorrow, so Monday. So that would be Monday the 28th. Is that the 28th? Because it's the 27th today, by the way. This is March 27th. So I'll put it up on the 28th on Tarot by Janine, and I'm going to look into some particular questions like, is he legit? He feels really legit, but let's ask the cards what they think about him. We're going to ask the cards what really happened to him, because apparently he died of a gunshot wound. Okay, so he was obviously, somebody pointed a pow at him. I got to be careful with my words. So yeah, and he was only 60, it looks like, if you figure out when he was born and when he died. Died in 2001, I believe. So I want to ask if he knew about the white hats. Did he really get, the pow really get him? I call that word that I said starts with a G and a U and then an N. I call that the pow pow, because you can't really say that on YouTube, certainly not very often. So yeah, we're going to look into this guy, Bill Cooper. And I know a lot of you probably have read the book Behold a Pale Horse, but that is absolutely the next book I'm going to read. And I am just thrilled to have found out about him. So whoever sent me that, the person that sent me that video, thank you so much. I'm sure other people have sent me things about him, but this particular video really lets you know, what this guy's life story is. And it was done by CNN. So it's interesting. I mean, did it even air? Probably not, right? They probably just put it in their archives. But let me know if you know if that actually aired. It didn't look slick enough to have aired. It looked like they were just interviewing him. Maybe because he said he spent $24,000 mailing out thousands of all his information. So probably CNN back in the day, this was in the 90s and 80s and 90s, is who he mailed it to them, as well as every other place in the whole world that he could think of, and people that so he mailed it all over the world, so they couldn't. He thought it would ensure that they didn't do what they ended up, sounds like they did to him. Okay, so we're going to look into that, and then we're going to channel him. So that'll be up tomorrow. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Right now I'm excited because I'm going to go on a little adventure with Miss Ashley Sage. Her last name really isn't Sage, but that's what we call her, Ashley Sage, because she is a little wise one, a little magic person. She was up doing some magic in a park, one of our spiritual parks around here. We got a lot of, Calgary's really interesting. It's probably got a lot of the demonic stuff gets done here, and underground apparently there was a lot of activity, but that's because it's such a powerfully spiritual place, weirdly. And oddly, a lot of psychics end up working here, and creative healers and stuff, because they're attracted maybe to all the ley line energies here. Yeah, there's a whole lot of big vortex energy here, and Ashley's been tapping into that and getting really cool with healing some spots. So very thankful for that she's doing that work. She's doing. Pretty special person that she is. And I knew it the minute I met her little self. She didn't even know it about herself. And that's really fun when that happens. When you meet somebody and you can just know who they are and they don't even know it yet. It's beautiful. But people saw that in me, my specialness, and I didn't know it yet either. So it's always important, if you do notice in somebody else, to point it out to them and encourage it in them if they're open to it. Right? Because that was also probably done to you, right? I'm a firm believer in do unto others. That really resonates. There I go with the words, saying the words wrong. Anyway, I really believe in that, let's say. And I live by that. Do unto others as you would have done. When I do something for someone else, it's because I'd really love it if someone did that for me, and I would appreciate it, so that it makes me feel like I'm doing good in the world because I'm doing something that I would appreciate. So I'm not trying to get something back from it. I'm trying to do it because I live by that phrase. And the more I do unto others, honestly, the universe so provides. I am so loved and provided for by the universe that, it's the most secure. Governments are never going to be your security. Medical systems, never. Truly, when I heard him describe what socialists are, what Republicans are, what far right is, what far left is, he nails it. Like I've never heard anyone nail it before. And you know what? I'm totally a far right. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? We're anarchists. Okay, that's hilarious. You're looking at possibly a far right. That A word I just said. Isn't that funny? I bet a lot of people watching this secretly in their heart are, but they're calling themselves these different things. I used to call myself left just because I believe in human rights. But left only fooled you that they believe in human rights. They actually believe in world domination and lack of human rights. They don't think of us as human. And that's literally the dark cult. So, wow. Okay, thank you so much. I know you possibly already passed on Bill Cooper. But I'm sitting here in awe of your work and what you put out there. And I'm going to today literally go and looking for that Behold a Pale Horse book. And I want a nice hard copy if I can find it. Because I don't really like, it's too bendy, those other ones. And I'll just bend them all up. I would prefer a hard copy, but I'll see what I can do. And thanks for listening, everybody, and hope you guys have a great Sunday. I'm on my way to, like I said, have an adventure with Ashley. Yay. Bye-bye. Sending you all ravens.